So to get started, let's go ahead and open up the Play Store because we have to download the launcher, and this one is called Smart Launcher. It should pop up for you, so when you see it, just go ahead and pick Smart Launcher, and then you're going to want to go down to Smart Launcher 5 and hit install. And we're going to be using this to get the look that we want on our Z Fold 3, or if you're using any other kind of Android, this should also work just fine for you. And I like it because it lets you actually download and install different icon packs that you want to use. I like using One UI, but as far as using different icon packs, I actually really like using Smart Launcher for that because I just see that it just looks better. It just has a very pretty look to it. I do know that with One UI 4 that's coming out, that we should be able to actually change our icon packs, and that's going to be pretty nice, but I haven't actually tested that out. As you know, if you have a Z Fold in the past, whenever they do these beta testing, it's typically going to be for like Galaxy S21s or the S series basically. Z Fold users will normally get ours later on down the road. Okay, so now that we have it installed, let's go ahead and open it and let's go ahead and get started. You can read the terms of service and privacy policy if you choose to. I'm just going to ignore and agree. Alright, so this is just letting you know what this launcher is going to access. Again, if you're uncomfortable with any of these, you can always turn these off. I've used this launcher for a while and I haven't had any problems, so I'm going to hit continue and allow it to access these things so that I can use this launcher to customize my device exactly to my liking. Now, I have this current wallpaper with the Goku, but I'm going to go ahead and go with suggested for now since you all don't have this just yet. But if you haven't yet, click down inside of the description below and you can go ahead and grab the Goku wallpaper. But now I'm going to make it just look like this so that all of ours will look the same. And then go ahead and set as default. And I've tried out a bunch, and I'm going to come out with a video for things like Niagara Launcher because I really enjoy using that launcher also. And I like using Nova Launcher, but so far Smart Launcher, the one that we're doing now, and Niagara is my actual favorite ones. So let's go ahead and touch Smart Launcher. So once you get it all up, this is how it's going to look. And if you swipe up, it's going to have different categories for the applications. And if you ever want to change any of these apps into a different category, you can. And the only thing that you're going to do is, let's say, for example, let's this 3D parallax background. Let's say we want to move that into media. Okay, yeah, we'll move to media. So just touch and hold with your finger, and then you'll be able to move it around, drag it over to that categories picture here, and when you let go, it's going to put it there. So that now when you go into media, so it's going to be right there. So if you ever don't like where an application is, you can always move it. And as we keep going, I'll show you how to get away from these categories if you don't like it. It's just a nice way to organize it. Coming from an iPhone with iOS 14, they kind of started to do this on their software. So for some people coming from iOS to Android, you all might actually like this. I kind of like it sometimes, but I've really gotten used to just being able to see all of my applications inside of the app drawer versus with it being automatically categorized. Okay, so after I download this, I go ahead and if you just hold a finger down anywhere on the home screen, all right, you can go ahead and swipe this up, or after you hold your finger on the home screen, you can just tap show all settings and it's going to expand this. Now the highlight apps that have active notifications, I like this on, just like you see in the little picture to the left. It's going to give you a notification dot if you have like a text or something. So I like to turn that on myself. You can decide if you want that on or not. Do whatever makes you comfortable. So now that I have that turned on, I'm going to go back into my settings here. And I like to go to, let's start with the home page. Okay. So for the home page, when we go to, let's go to layout first. Okay. And then I like to resize it because on this display, it's nice to have those bigger buttons. But if you don't want it to be bigger, I like to actually take the layout down and just drop it to 50%. But I leave the icon size big like it is right here. And on your cover display, it's going to look really nice also. So I kind of like to leave the icon size. If you want, you can always make it bigger. Okay. But that's just, you know, do whatever you like. But I like to drop my layout to 50 and icon size to 100. Hit OK, and now that's going to go ahead and shrink that down for you. All right, so I'm going to go back to that homepage settings, but instead of going to show all settings, if you look at the very bottom, you see where it says homepage, and then to the bottom right it has a dot in the middle. Just tap that, and you're going to enter something that's called a page manager. And this is just kind of like a faster way to actually get to different managing materials to actually manage your pages that we're going to be getting into. Okay, so let's go back to the home page. So just touch on home page this time, and then go ahead and go to appearance on the top right. And from here, you can pick whatever icon appearance that you actually want to use. You can pick which dark mode or however you want it to be. You can mess with all of these settings. There's so many things inside of this launcher that it would take a while to go through all of them. So for icon appearance, you can actually edit all of the icons throughout the home page and inside of your app page. So this global is going to mean this is going to affect all of the applications, both inside of your app drawer as well as on the home page. Or you can have your home page set up differently than your app drawer. So I kind of like to keep them separate. By default, it's turned on, but if you just tap this button, it's going to turn it off. So since we're working on the home page first, I'm going to go ahead and show you these different shapes that they have, and all these look really cool. And yeah, when you change it here, this is how it's going to look on your home screen. So very unique, very cool design. I really wish that you could do this over on iOS back when I was using my iPhone, but this kind of customization is so easy and simple to do right here on Android. It's something that I've appreciated since switching. Let's go back to the application editing here for the icon appearance. Okay, so on that particular video, I think I was using just a rounded icon, but they have so many different ones. You all should really check these out and play around with them. I really love this double circle one here. This looks really cool. I love this torn up look right here. It looks like they're all like kind of flamish or painted in. It's just like this really cool effect. I like this one also. But yeah, go crazy here. I'm going to go ahead and pick this circle shape, and I'm going to go back. So that's how I got the circle shape that I was using before. Now, if you don't want to show smart search is going to be like it's going to remind you of, if you come from an iPhone, when you have the spotlight search and can search for anything on your device. Same thing here. So if you don't want it to say smart search, just hold your finger down on it. Okay, just rest your finger on it and then press preferences, and you can actually go through different changes of this. I pretty much left this mostly alone. The only thing that I like to change on it is the custom hint text right here, and I just kind of want to type. I just like it because I can type in anything I want. So I'm going to type in Chill Tech for the channel here. All right, so now when you go home, guess what? So you could put your name there, you could put anything, you could put it to say, hey boo, or put it whatever you want it to say right there. I'm going to go with Chill Tech for right now, just to show you all how to customize that. So once you get this all going, if you don't like how these icons look, like you notice how it has the it's going to change it, the icon pack, you can change that. Okay, so when you touch like on music, you see how it defaults it to that, but I'm actually using Apple Music. Well, when you touch it, you can actually get it to change to that. So you're going to pick what you want the icon to look like. So here, well, that's Messenger. I don't want Messenger over here. So touch and hold on it, and if you actually see that little pencil, you can change the icon for it if you want. You can switch it to be something else, or you can just erase it. I'm just going to erase it right here. And this is just a little folder here. I don't typically keep a folder right there. I kind of like just the app to be there. And I kind of like my app to be sorted a certain way. So I'm going to put my phone messages. I like my music to be fourth here. And then I like using the Play Store down here. I always like my camera to be all the way to the right. And then I like my gallery here. And the next thing that I like to use, okay, let's go ahead and handle this app drawer. The next thing that I like to be here is I like my Google Maps to be right there. So since I'm going to be messing around with this, let's go ahead and let's start to edit the app drawer. So from the home page again, rest your finger down and let's go ahead and press those dots on the bottom right hand corner to get to the page manager. And now at the very bottom you see app page. Press the gear icon and you can edit these. So I'm going to change these and automatically you see category bar is right here. If you don't want it to be a category bar, just turn it off. Okay, there's different settings here for you to play around with if you want to keep it on, but if you want to turn it off, this is going to just make it to where you can show all apps. So now when you swipe up, you see how it's now all of the applications that's now visible. All right, so you don't have to keep it inside of a grouping if you don't want it to be. And there's so many options here to actually sort this. You can have it by name, which is going to be alphabetical order. But if let's say you want to do it by color, you could do that, which is really cool. So as you actually scroll, you're going to actually get these different colors here and it looks really cool. So you see how it's going from like this reddish down. Now I've got like these orange color applications down to yellow, green. This is so cool. You could just remember, I can't remember what in the world the name of that game that I downloaded is, but I know that it's blue, and actually just scroll and get to your blue apps and help you find it that way. I don't know if anybody actually ever does that, but you could with this smart launcher, and you could use it to find the application that you want. So this is really cool. I love this. This just kind of gives it a nice look. And as you're scrolling, it just looks so cool to see the colors kind of change like that. I normally keep mine sorted on name just because it's easier for me to kind of remember. No, I just want to kind of go to, Samsung this or whatever. This is just easier for me. But this is how you can actually sort your app page. And if you hit those three dots on the top right corner again, and then you go to, let's see, you can hide apps. Okay, if you go to hidden apps, you can hide apps. Let me show you how to do that too. Let's see what messages it is, because I use Google Messages, but you see here there's two messages. One on the right here is Google's messages, and then right here on the left hand side in this first column here, right here, is Samsung's. Well, I don't use Samsung, so if you just press down on it and then press the gear icon, just tap hide. Okay, so it's not going to be inside of here, but you can always access it, so don't worry about getting rid of it. You're just keeping it from this view. If you want to put a password up there, you can. So I typically don't, just because I really just hide apps just for cosmetic reasons. I just don't want to see two messaging applications. But you can if you want to hide something behind a password, so that is useful. And again, if you ever want to get back to those hidden applications, once you open up your app drawer, this is one of the ways to get there. Press the three dots on the top right to open the menu button, and then just touch hidden apps, and it's going to be right there for you. Okay, so the next thing that I want to show you is these pages. So by default here, let's go back to this. I'm going to show you this real fast. When you press down on that home screen, and then we're going to tap out a button on the bottom right hand corner to get to the page manager. You see how at the top it has the search page, app page on the bottom, widget page on the right, and then news page. Well, you can edit all of these. For now, I'm going to show you the news page, and then we're going to edit it so that we can put it the way that we want it to be. So by default, it's going to have top stories and news, tech, sports. But let's say you don't care about all of those things. Well, from that one page we was at is one way to get there to actually edit it. Let's see. I'm going to get back there. So when you press the gear button here on a news page, if you press manage topics, you don't have to have it. Let's say you're not a sports lover. You want to turn that off. Let's say you don't care about your health and you don't care about no fitness. You can turn that off. Let's say you don't really care about money. The only thing you love in this world is gaming, traveling. You don't care about the weather, no tsunami coming, you care less. You don't care about video topics that's coming out, and you don't even care about food. The only thing you live for is technology, and you don't even care about cars. The only thing you live for is technology and gaming and traveling. It's the only thing you care about. All right, so uncheck whatever you don't want to see inside of your news feed, and you can order it the way that you want it to be. So I'm going to leave it like this: news, tech, gaming, and travel, and then go ahead and press apply. And now when you go over to your news page, you're going to have those topics down here. So now I have top stories, news, technology, gaming, and travel, so I don't have to worry. And these are all from looks like it's from Microsoft is where this feed is coming from. You don't have to have it from Microsoft if you don't want it to be. So let's go ahead and go back to the home page. Hold your finger down and let's go ahead and go back here. And there's multiple ways to get to the page manager. This is just the way that I'm going to use in this video to just try to stay more consistent. But if you don't want it to be here, okay, let's say you want this to be something different. So let's press this trash can on this, and now there's nothing there. And if you was to hit apply and swipe over, nothing would happen. So we're going to hit plus, and you can actually pick to use your Google page, or you can go back to using the news page. All right, so you can pick which one you want it to be. I'm going to leave it as news page, and I'm going to leave the topics just as we just did it. But you do have that option if you choose to. Now the widget page I don't really use when it comes to that. I'm going to show you how I have that set up. So if you want to use widgets, you can. I don't. So I'm going to hit the trash can, and the way that I actually set this up is I went ahead and hit apply. Actually, let me take off the search page too, and I'm going to show you what I actually have it. So I have app page on the bottom, news on the left, press apply, and now nothing will happen when I swipe over here. My news page is here. Okay, but that's it. So now let's go back to here, go to show all settings, and now we're going to press this time on gestures and hotkeys. And the way that I have mine turned on is actually have my enable swipe gestures, and then I use just single finger, and then I have it set to whenever I swipe over, swipe left, you can pick if you want it to be a shortcut or you want to launch an app. I personally like to launch an app, and I like to use Samsung's free because I like to watch game shows sometimes. But you could change this to anything you want it to be. It could be YouTube. If you press the little circle here, that's going to put it back to its default, which is nothing. So go ahead and tap on that again. And when you look at apps, you can put it as any of these, and it would actually launch these for you if you wanted it to. All right, so you can pick whatever you want. Like I said, I'm just going to search for I'm just going to use Samsung's. Let's see here. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll make it Crunchyroll. So the other thing that I like to do is whenever I swipe down, and if you go to SL shortcuts, you can pick what you want it to be. I like to show my notification panel because I like that about using One UI's launcher. Whenever I swipe down, it just expands my notification panel. So this is a nice setup that I like to actually use, and this is just kind of showing you how. Again, there's a lot of features and things in here like double tapping, hotkeys that you can set up, smart display, double finger gestures. I don't typically dig that deep just because this is good enough for how I use it. But just as you just saw, just swiping over will launch my Crunchyroll. Okay, and then if I pull down, it's going to actually expand my notification center. So the last thing to do here, actually I'll show you how to change the icons also, because I haven't shown you that too. So let's go back to home page, and then let's go to appearance on the top right, and then for icon appearance, when you click icon pack, you can pick from different icon packs. I like this one a whole lot. They have pixel icon. They have different ones up here, or you can just click Play Store. I'm going to show you one of the ones that I like to use a whole lot, and it's actually this one here. This is one of my favorite icon packs. It just looks so nice on pretty much any background, and this launcher is smart. So if you have a background that's going to be dark in color, it's going to automatically change the color of the clock and calendar and those information and like weather that you see at the top of the display on the home screen. It's going to automatically change that for you, so you don't have to worry about, well, is if I do this, is it going to change? Is it going to change colors if I have a dark background? Just like you see this dark background here, it's going to give you, it's just going to just look really nice. It's just one of my favorites. Of course, you pick whatever icon pack that you want to use, but once that finishes installing, then I'm going to go ahead and actually use that here. So let's go back to icon pack and let's actually pick this one. And now when you go home, you're gonna have these white icons, and this just looks sick. This just looks so nice. And again, my app page still is all in color. Maybe I don't want it to be all black and white down here, but I know where the layout of everything is here, and I like how this looks. Also, one thing I forgot to show too, well, I never added my YouTube actually. Oh, my maps, that's what it was. So let me go to maps and let's see, where's my maps at? Also, you see how I'm swiping, I'll just do that off of habit. But if you actually touch the little magnifying glass here, you can tap the letter of what you're looking for. And then from there, you can kind of drag and drop it to where you want it to be. So I typically like my maps to be in between my Google Mail here and my gallery. So if you don't like the layout to be on the bottom like this, you can always go back to your home page settings, and for layout, you can actually change this. So I have it set to a grid, but maybe you want yours to be on an arch. You can do that. And if you hit resize, you can even get a little preview. So maybe you might like how that actually looks. I don't. I think because of this reason here, you see the clock. I think that the developers just have to go ahead and fix how this is displaying. And so since they have not done that yet, and it's the first time I've ever seen that, I've used Android devices off and on over the past, and that's the first time that I've actually seen it to where that's an issue. And again, one of the things too is you can always reach out, just send a quick email and say, hey, this layout isn't working here on the Z Fold 3. Most of the time that I send an email out to the developers, they actually respond. You'd be surprised how much they respond, and they're interested, and they might not know about some of the problems that exist until you tell them. And they're so fast to just be like, thanks for telling us about this. I'm bringing this up to the team, or we're going to look at getting this fixed. And oftentimes it does get fixed. And I do send emails to developers because they don't know. There's so many devices out there. And if we want it to work like we want it to work well, we got to help them out and let them know. So don't be afraid to ever send an email out to developers. Oftentimes it works out pretty nicely. Okay, so the last thing to do is to actually get that Goku picture set as your wallpaper. And you have a couple options you could do. If you went ahead and saved that to your device, just go ahead and navigate there and set as wallpaper like you normally do a wallpaper. Another option, and something I want to show you too, is if you don't want to use the Goku wallpaper, which, you know, somebody doesn't want to do that. Just press on the home page and then you see wallpaper right here. Well, this is going to show you different photos, and they actually offer different really nice looking wallpapers here. So I'm going to pick this one here for right now. And you can put this as your home screen and your lock screen, and when you hit apply, it actually looks really nice. And as you probably saw before, but there's so many different, look at that, it's so vibrant. And on the Z Fold display, whew, it's just so beautiful. I mean, God, that red, the colors just punch, like they just look so nice. I love my iPhone display, but whenever you're holding the iPhone side by side by the Z Fold, or just by just the Samsung's displays when it comes to their phones, you probably should have noticed that certain colors just punch really well on Galaxy. So on the Z Fold, this big beautiful canvas, it's gorgeous. So yeah, anyways, just want to show you all how I have it set up. The last thing for you to do is to just simply go and actually set your wallpaper to whatever you want. I'll put the link for the Goku wallpaper down inside of the description on below, so you can go grab that and set it as your wallpaper. And yeah, that's about it. Go ahead and go crazy on this launcher. Again, it's called Smart Launcher, and they have a really cool really cool options here for getting things done. And as you can see, I reviewed this back years ago, but yeah, they have so many options for making this launcher just really cool. And for people asking about the clock, it's automatically up here. You can change this if you want to. If you hold down on it, it's just a widget, so you can always move it and do it how you want. Maybe you want that to be in the center like that instead of up the way that I had it. And hey, go crazy with it. Just mess around and you'll be able to find so much cool stuff on this launcher. But I just wanted to show you all just the basic setup for what I had. without going too much in depth. But again, if you saw when you were looking inside of the settings, there is a lot up here. And if you ever get, like, let's say you get a setup that you really like, you can actually press back up and you can back up that setup so that you can always go back to it. You might set up a sweet looking Goku and the app icons look really nice, and then you want to back that up. Maybe you want to switch to something else. You might want to go do Naruto or anything else, One Piece, whatever. Or just maybe a picture of your kids. You can have a backup for each of your kids, whatever you want it to be. You can do that, and then you can quickly restore up to it. So like right here, I'm going to hit this button here, and there's different things that you can actually do. Like let's say you want to get one, just tap on one of your backups and press restore. So again, there's some really cool stuff inside of this launcher. Play around with it, check it out. Thanks for watching, and I really hope that somebody finds this useful, because there's so much cool stuff on this phone that I'm still figuring out, and you all are figuring out. So please, you figure out something cool on this application, let me know, drop it in the comments so we can help each other just get the most out of our devices. See you in the next video.